Love never breaks cleanly. It always leaves a fingerprint on the truth. That's the kind of reality most people don't want to admit, but it becomes painfully clear when someone who once adored you is now holding a silent grudge over lies they were fed. And here's the wild part. Studies show that people remember emotional pain with 40% more intensity than physical pain. Meaning, someone can stub their toe and forget in 10 minutes, but let the heart get bruised? Oh, that memory sets up a small apartment and pays rent on time. This is where things get complicated. Because the person who's in love with you, truly in love, doesn't just walk away with a shrug and a motivational quote. They walk away carrying confusion, hopes that didn't fully die, questions they'll never admit they replay, and a frustration that looks like anger but is actually heartbreak in disguise. They're upset not because they stopped caring, but because they cared too much, and now they're stuck with emotional leftovers they never asked for. There's something almost cinematic about it. Someone out there is mad at you, missing you, defending you, doubting you, and replaying old moments like a private movie, sometimes all before breakfast. And even while holding this grudge, they're secretly hoping the story between you both wasn't built on sand. Love has a strange sense of humor that way. It'll have someone blocking you, checking on you, forgiving you, resenting you, remembering your laugh, and trying absolutely everything not to think about you, often all in the same week. So when lies, real or manipulated, enter the picture, the emotional chemistry shifts, the connection stiffens, the heart gets cautious. And suddenly, what could have been an easy conversation turns into an emotional maze where both sides are trying not to look lost. But beneath the tension, beneath the hurt, beneath the grudge, there's still that pulse of love quietly proving it never left. Number one, their grudge isn't about the lie, it's about feeling made into a fool. When someone loves you deeply, they build a quiet confidence in their ability to understand you. They trust their instincts around you. They believe they can tell when you're being honest and when something is off. So when a lie comes out, especially one influenced by outside voices, it doesn't just break trust. It shakes their sense of judgment. It makes them ask themselves how they didn't see it, how they didn't catch it, and how they allowed their love to blind them. That feeling alone can create a wound far bigger than the lie itself. The truth is, nobody wants to feel foolish, especially not in the eyes of someone they cared for. Loving someone creates its own kind of vulnerability, and that vulnerability becomes a risk when deception enters the room. They aren't just hurt that you didn't tell the truth. They're hurt because the situation made them doubt their own emotional intelligence. And when people start doubting themselves, they cling to anger because it feels safer than admitting they feel embarrassed or misled. Their grudge comes from that internal conflict. Part of them wants to forgive you instantly because the love is still active. But another part refuses to let go because letting go too fast feels like they're setting themselves up to be fooled again. They're protecting their pride as much as their heart. They want to rebuild trust, but they don't want it to look like they're accepting anything and everything just to keep the connection. Even when they replay the situation, it's not the lie that keeps them stuck. It's the memory of believing something with their whole heart, only to discover later that the ground beneath it wasn't as solid as they thought. That's what leaves a mark. And the grudge becomes their shield, a way to regain control, a way to rebuild confidence, and a way to stop themselves from running back to you too quickly. Deep down, their anger is really just the echo of how much they valued what you shared. Number two, they want to forgive you, but they don't want to look desperate. When someone truly loves you, their heart is wired to forgive. Even after a lie, even after the trust takes a hit, part of them is already reaching for the bridge back to you. Love has this strange, relentless stubbornness. It refuses to disappear overnight. But there's another layer at play, one that's quieter but just as powerful. pride. They don't want to appear weak, vulnerable, or desperate. They want to protect themselves from being the first one to step forward, to show just how much they still care. That's where the grudge lives, quietly, like a shadow that follows them wherever they go. This isn't about punishing you. It's about keeping themselves from being hurt again while still holding on to the love that refuses to leave. They know that if they forgive too quickly, if they show their heart too openly, they might be opening the door for disappointment to walk back in. Their grudge is a carefully constructed boundary, an emotional buffer that allows them to process without losing their dignity. It's not stubbornness for the sake of being stubborn. It's a survival tactic shaped by their deep care for both you and themselves. Even while holding this grudge, they're observing, analyzing, and waiting. They're waiting to see whether your words match your actions, whether the apology is heartfelt or just convenient, whether your change is real or temporary. They're measuring every gesture, every nuance, every little detail, to make sure that forgiving won't mean risking their heart again. And in that waiting, the grudge feels heavier than it actually is because it carries all the unspoken questions, the unexpressed emotions, and the love that still exists beneath the surface. The irony is brutal. They want to forgive, to heal, to move past the hurt, but their pride is stronger than their impulse to reconcile. They're caught between heart and ego, love and self-protection, desire and dignity. The grudge isn't a punishment for you, it's a test for both of you. A silent signal that while the door to reconciliation isn't closed, it won't be opened without proof that the love they hold is respected and cherished in return. Number 3, they replay conversations more than you think, looking for the why. When someone loves you and a lie enters the picture, their mind doesn't just file it away as a mistake. It becomes a constant mental loop, a private reel they watch over and over again, searching for answers. Every word you said, every hesitation, every tone, every glance, everything is dissected with an almost obsessive intensity. They aren't just angry, they're trying to understand the motive, to figure out why someone they trusted could take a path that hurt them so deeply. That search for why is exhausting, but it's also a sign of how much the connection still matters. Love doesn't allow easy detachment. When the heart is involved, the brain becomes a detective, analyzing every fragment of interaction. They're not only questioning your actions, they're questioning their own judgment. They replay conversations not to punish you, but to protect themselves from being blindsided again. Every subtle hint or phrase that seemed innocent before is now examined under a microscope, as if somewhere in those words lies the key to understanding the betrayal. Their mind becomes a lab where memories are experiments, all designed to answer one burning question. What went wrong, and how could it have been prevented? The intensity of this mental replay creates a strange paradox. They are still deeply in love, yet the love is wrapped in caution, suspicion, and the fear of being hurt again. Even small gestures or messages from you are weighed against the memory of the lie. They are seeking patterns, motives, anything that can explain the dissonance between the love they feel and the pain they were given. This obsession with understanding doesn't fade overnight. It lingers because love wants clarity, and clarity requires truth. Until they find a reason that satisfies both the heart and the mind, they carry the grudge silently, letting it shape their interactions, their emotions, and their trust. The replaying of conversations is not about keeping score. It's their way of navigating the storm of hurt, protecting the love they still feel, and cautiously trying to rebuild a sense of safety in a relationship that was suddenly shaken. Number 4, they haven't reached out because they fear hearing the truth. When someone who truly loves you is holding a grudge, Their silence is often louder than words. It's not just stubbornness or pride. It's fear. The fear isn't about losing you anymore. It's about confronting the depth of the truth. They know that if they reach out, they might hear something they aren't ready to handle, something that could either confirm their worst suspicions or shatter the fragile hope they still cling to. That fear keeps them at a distance, even when their heart aches to bridge the gap. Lies have a way of creating shadows that linger long after the words are exposed. Even if you apologize or try to make amends, the shadow of doubt can still loom over them. They worry that the truth will reveal a permanent pattern rather than a single mistake, that your intentions might not have been as genuine as they hoped. In holding back, they are giving themselves a buffer, a chance to protect their heart until they feel strong enough to face what reality might actually be. Their silence isn't rejection, it's armor. Every day they resist reaching out. They are battling an internal war. Part of them wants clarity, to hear your side and reconcile. Another part wants to preserve the hope they've been nurturing quietly, because confrontation might demand them to admit that the hurt was bigger than they thought. Love complicates the fear, making it impossible for them to act purely from reason. Even small signals from you, messages, gestures, or hints of reconciliation, are scrutinized carefully. They measure each one, calculating whether taking a step forward would heal or reopen the wound. In truth, their fear is a reflection of how deeply they care. They are not indifferent, nor are they letting go easily. They are holding themselves back because love has made them fragile and cautious at the same time. The grudge they carry isn't about punishment. It's a silent plea for safety, a test of your sincerity, and a measure of whether the bond is strong enough to survive the shadow of the lie. Until they feel that safety, their distance will remain, not as a rejection of you, but as a shield for the heart that still beats for you quietly. Number 5, they still check on you indirectly because the love didn't switch off. Even when someone is holding a grudge, their love doesn't suddenly vanish. It doesn't have an off switch. What changes is how they express it. They pull back, they stay silent, and they protect themselves from being hurt again. But underneath that grudge, their heart is still very much engaged. They find themselves checking on you in subtle, almost invisible ways, through social media, mutual friends, or even casual mentions from others, because the connection hasn't died. That's the quiet proof that love lingers, even when pride and hurt take the foreground. The thing about love is that it's persistent. It doesn't disappear just because trust has been broken. It hides behind caution and resentment, waiting to be reassured, tested, or healed. They may act distant or guarded, but every small detail about your life still matters to them. They notice the things you post, the people you interact with, the moods you show, and even the little achievements or failures you experience. Their curiosity isn't nosiness. It's a form of emotional tethering. It's their way of staying connected without fully opening themselves to potential pain again. This indirect attention is often misunderstood. People assume that if someone is angry or hurt, they must want nothing to do with you. But when love is deep, it refuses to completely sever ties. It will bend, shrink, and mask itself behind grudge and pride, but it never truly abandons. Even when they don't speak to you, their mind constantly factors you into the emotional equation of their day. They observe your life, silently measuring whether the gap between you can be bridged, whether your actions match your words, and whether reconciliation is even possible. Ultimately, this subtle checking in is a sign of lingering hope. It's proof that they haven't stopped caring, even when they want to protect themselves. Their grudge is a shield, but it's a shield over a heart that still beats for you. They are balancing the risk of being hurt with the pull of love, holding back just enough to stay safe while still keeping you close, in a way only someone who truly loves you could understand. Number 6. The lie damaged the image they built of you in their mind. When someone loves you deeply, they don't just love the person in front of them. They love the version of you they've carefully built in their mind. This mental image is a mix of your actions, your words, your quirks, your promises, and the trust they've invested over time. They've painted a picture of someone they can rely on, admire, and feel safe with. A lie, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, cracks that picture. It's not just the truth that's broken, it's the image they've held on to, the story they've been telling themselves about you, and the version of you they thought existed. When the lie comes to light, it feels like a betrayal of their imagination as much as it does a betrayal of reality. The person they trusted, who they believed would always be transparent and honest, suddenly behaves in a way that doesn't fit the story in their mind. That discrepancy is jarring and disorienting. It forces them to question everything they've believed about you. Which parts were real, which parts were selective, and which parts were carefully concealed. The mental portrait they've cherished is no longer accurate, and grief often follows the shock. They're mourning not just the lie, but the version of you they loved. This is why the grudge can feel so intense and persistent. It isn't just about anger or disappointment. It's about reconciling the truth with the vision they held so tightly. Their emotions are tangled because love and imagination collided, and now they must adjust both simultaneously. Every memory, every gesture, every past reassurance is filtered through the lens of this new understanding. Even if forgiveness is possible, rebuilding the image takes time. Trust isn't just a feeling, it's the reconstruction of a belief system, a realignment of perception with reality. Until they see consistent proof that the person they envisioned can still exist in real life, the grudge lingers as both a shield and a checkpoint. The heart wants to return, but the mind needs certainty. And love caught between the two is a complicated, restless thing that refuses to let go easily. Number 7. Their anger shows how much they expected from you. When someone in love holds a grudge, it's rarely about the specific lie alone. The intensity of their anger often reveals just how much they invested in the relationship and how high their expectations were. People only get this deeply wounded when they believed in someone's potential to be better, to be honest, and to honor the trust placed in them. The grudge is a mirror, reflecting not just the mistake, but the gap between who they thought you were and who you showed yourself to be. Love creates its own pedestal, not out of arrogance, but out of hope and faith. They saw a version of you that could hold their heart carefully, that could match their commitment and sincerity, and that could meet their emotional needs with honesty and respect. When lies enter the equation, it's jarring. The expectation they held becomes the measure against which your actions are weighed, and the disappointment is amplified because it didn't just fall on them. It fell on the idealized image of what they believed your love could be. Their anger is born from that collapse, from the shattering of assumptions they built their trust upon. This is why grudges in love aren't petty, they're profound. It's not that they are angry for the sake of being angry, it's that the emotional investment they made feels violated. Every untruth chips away at the foundation of what they envisioned, and each time they replay it in their mind, they are wrestling with the disparity between reality and expectation. That mental and emotional friction fuels the grudge, creating a tension between wanting to forgive and needing to protect themselves from being misled again. Their anger also carries a quiet lesson. It reflects the seriousness with which they approach the relationship. They didn't settle for less, and their expectations were rooted in love, not control. The grudge is a way to assert that their heart and trust are not trivial, that they demand respect, honesty, and reciprocity. The deeper the love, the more pronounced the reaction, because when you hurt someone who expects much from you, It's not just the lie that stings, it's the knowledge that you fell short of the potential they believed you had. Number 8, they think you don't understand the depth of their hurt. When someone in love holds a grudge, a big part of it stems from the feeling that you can't truly grasp the pain you caused. Even if you've apologized or tried to explain yourself, they often believe that words can't fully capture the intensity of their emotions. Love amplifies everything, the joy, the care, the hope. And when that love is met with deception, the heartbreak runs deeper than most people realize. They replay the betrayal in their mind, feeling the sting of being misled, and the frustration grows because they assume you cannot feel just how profoundly they were affected. The hurt isn't just about the lie itself. It's about the ripple effect it creates in their mind and heart. They trusted you in ways that made them vulnerable, shared parts of themselves that they rarely show anyone, and built dreams and expectations around you. When those dreams are disrupted by dishonesty, it leaves an emotional scar that goes beyond the immediate moment. They feel exposed, unprotected, and misunderstood, and that combination of betrayal and invisibility fuels their grudge. They're angry not just at what you did, but at the assumption that you understand the magnitude of their pain. Because they feel this way, they often hold back, observing from a distance, silently testing whether your future actions match your apologies. They crave emotional acknowledgement more than explanations. They want to feel that you see them, that you recognize the gravity of their hurt, and that you respect the love they gave. Until they feel that recognition, their grudge remains a shield. The irony is that the depth of their hurt is a testament to the strength of their love. It shows how much they cared, how invested they were, and how much they believed in the bond between you. Their silence and anger aren't signs of indifference. They are signs of the enormous emotional weight they're carrying. Until that weight is acknowledged, the grudge lingers. A constant reminder that love isn't easily shaken, but it demands honesty, understanding, and validation in return. Number 9, they're waiting to see if your change is genuine or temporary. When someone who loves you is holding a grudge, part of it comes from uncertainty. They're not angry just to be angry. They're cautious. The truth is, anyone can apologize. Anyone can say the right words. But actions reveal sincerity. They're watching, often quietly, to see whether your change is real or if it's just temporary, a band-aid for a wound that might reopen at any moment. Their grudge is their way of protecting themselves while also keeping the door to reconciliation ajar. Love makes people vulnerable, and vulnerability is a delicate thing. After a lie, their trust doesn't immediately return to its previous state. They need proof that the connection they valued isn't just words, but actions that match the promises made. Every gesture you make, every effort to show honesty, is scrutinized. It's not suspicion in a petty sense, it's a measure of emotional survival. They've seen the damage caused by carelessness or dishonesty, and they're unwilling to risk their heart again without seeing consistent effort. This waiting period is exhausting for both sides. From your perspective, it might feel like impatience or distance. From theirs, it's a careful balancing act. They still love you, but they can't ignore the pain that the lie caused. Their grudge becomes a boundary, not a wall. It's a way of saying, I still care, but I need to see who you really are before I give my heart fully again. The intensity of this waiting comes from the stakes of love itself. They're invested emotionally, and they know that once trust is broken, rebuilding it isn't instant. They want to see consistency, effort, and transparency over time. Until they feel that your change is genuine, their grudge will linger, not as a weapon, but as a measure of caution and self-preservation. The grudge reflects the depth of their care. It's a reminder that love isn't just about feelings, it's about proof, integrity, and the courage to show up authentically after being hurt. Number 10, they don't want revenge, they want restoration. When someone in love holds a grudge, it's not about wanting to hurt you back or to make you pay. That's a common misconception. Deep down, what they crave is restoration, healing the bond, repairing the trust, and reclaiming the connection that once felt unbreakable. The grudge exists not as a weapon, but as a boundary, a way to protect themselves while they figure out whether the relationship can return to its former strength. Their love hasn't vanished. It's waiting for signs that it's still safe to step back in. Anger and resentment are often mistaken for cruelty, but in reality, they're emotional signals. They're saying, without words, that the trust between you was disrupted and that reconciliation must come with proof, not promises alone. They aren't keeping score to punish you. They're holding on to the grudge to measure whether your actions align with your apologies. Every step you take, every gesture of honesty or effort to rebuild the connection is observed and weighed carefully. The grudge functions as a test of sincerity, a way to ensure that the relationship isn't mended superficially, only to crumble again under the weight of repeated mistakes. This is why restoration is at the heart of their grudge. They still remember the laughter, the intimacy, the moments that built the foundation of love, and they want those parts back. Their silence, distance, and anger are not rejections. They're a protective pause. They need to see consistency and dedication before allowing themselves to fully invest again. The beauty of this type of grudge is that it carries hope. Unlike anger rooted in bitterness, their emotions are tethered to the belief that healing is possible. They're not closing doors. They're keeping them ajar, inviting careful, intentional steps toward reconciliation. Every grudge held in love is a quiet plea for authenticity. Show me you care, show me you've changed, and show me that the love we shared is still worth saving. Restoration, not revenge, is the true engine behind the complex, often silent, but profoundly meaningful emotions they carry. Number 11, they're hurt because they know you could have confided in them instead. When someone loves you deeply and a lie enters the picture, the pain they feel isn't just about what was hidden. It's about what could have been shared. They are hurt because they understand that you made a choice to shield the truth or to act alone rather than trust them with the real story. Love is built on the quiet assumption of partnership, the idea that even in difficult moments you will lean on each other rather than isolate yourselves. When you lie instead of confiding, it feels like a betrayal not just of trust, but of the very partnership they believed existed. The wound runs deeper because it carries a silent question. If you couldn't trust them with the truth, how much else might be hidden? Every lie, every omission, every carefully constructed half-truth chips away at the belief that love meant safety. They didn't just lose a bit of trust, they lost a sense of security, the understanding that they could always be a safe place for you. That realization stings far more than the act of lying itself, because it forces them to confront the fragility of the emotional bridge you once shared. Their grudge is a reflection of this hurt. It's not about punishment, it's about processing the sense of exclusion. They are silently saying, I could have held this with you, I could have supported you. You didn't let me in. The pain is compounded by their love, because the deeper the care, the more devastating the awareness that they were intentionally kept out. They hold back, not only because of the lie, but because they need to see a change in how you handle honesty and trust moving forward. Even in the quiet of their distance, they are hoping for a demonstration that trust can be restored, that the relationship can return to its true partnership, and that the next time life gets complicated, you will turn toward them, not away. Their grudge is a protective measure and a reflection of the heartache caused by being left out of a space they were always meant to inhabit. Until they feel that inclusion again, their love remains cautious, observant, and quietly waiting for reassurance. Number 12, they haven't moved on, because what you shared still feels unfinished. When someone in love holds a grudge, it's often because the story between you feels incomplete. It's not that they are unwilling to forgive or incapable of letting go. It's that there's a lingering sense that the emotional chapter wasn't fully written. Every laugh, every promise, every intimate moment you shared is still alive in their memory, but now it's tangled with disappointment, hurt, and unanswered questions. They feel as though the narrative stopped mid-sentence, leaving them suspended in a space between love and resentment, hope and caution. This unfinished emotional business creates a tension that makes moving on impossible. The heart remembers the bond, the connection, and the love that once felt effortless. Meanwhile, the mind recalls the betrayal, the misstep, and the lie. Neither can dominate completely because the two are locked in a silent tug-of-war. The grudge becomes a manifestation of this tension, a holding pattern that allows them to preserve the past while protecting themselves from being hurt again. They can't fully release because doing so would mean closing the door on something they still care about. Every time they think of you, the unfinished feelings resurface. They notice what's missing, the conversations not had, the apologies not fully understood, the truths not entirely acknowledged. That sense of incompletion keeps them stuck in a cycle of observation, reflection, and cautious emotional engagement. Even in moments of distance, their mind revisits the shared history, measuring whether reconciliation is possible, whether the trust can be rebuilt, and whether the emotional ledger can finally balance. The unfinished nature of what you shared is a silent magnet, pulling them back emotionally, even as the grudge pushes them away. Until the gaps are addressed, through honesty, consistent effort, and authentic connection, their love will remain alert, protective, and quietly yearning for closure. The grudge isn't stubbornness. It's a heart refusing to abandon something that was once profound, waiting for the story to be completed in a way that heals rather than reopens the wound. Number 13. They believe the connection can be saved. They just don't want to make the first move. When someone in love is holding a grudge, the distance they maintain isn't always about anger. It's often about strategy. Deep down, they believe the bond you shared is worth salvaging. They haven't given up on the connection, but stepping forward first would require vulnerability, and vulnerability feels risky after trust has been shaken. Their grudge is, in part, a protective shield, keeping them from being hurt again while they quietly observe whether you are willing to meet them halfway. They understand that relationships are two-way streets. Forgiveness and restoration feel safest when both parties are committed to the process. By holding back, they are testing the depth of your sincerity. They want to see if your actions, words, and effort reflect genuine care and responsibility, rather than a desire to quickly erase the mistake. The grudge becomes a quiet measure, a way for them to gauge whether your love is consistent enough to withstand the turbulence caused by the lie. Even in their silence, their love is still active. They notice your behavior, your gestures, the way you communicate, and how you respond to the emotional gap created. They are watching for patterns, small proofs that you value the bond enough to prioritize honesty and accountability. Their grudge doesn't mean the connection is broken. It's evidence that they are unwilling to risk being blindsided again without reassurance. This delicate balance between hope and caution makes their actions, or in this case, inaction, significant. They are silently saying that they believe in the potential of the relationship, but they need to see clear evidence before reopening the door fully. It's a mixture of care, self-preservation, and measured trust. Ultimately, the grudge is less about punishment and more about navigation. They are steering themselves through the aftermath of hurt, ensuring that when they finally step forward, they do so into a space that feels safe, valued, and genuine. The connection can be restored, but only if they sense that both hearts are ready to rebuild together, not just individually. Until then, the grudge stands as both a barrier and a beacon, guarding their heart while silently affirming their hope. Number 14, deep down, they know the grudge is exhausting them, but letting go feels too personal to rush. When someone who loves you holds a grudge, it isn't because they enjoy the bitterness or the tension. Deep down, they know the weight of their anger and silence is draining them. Every thought of you, every replay of the hurt, every moment spent balancing hope and caution takes an emotional toll. Their heart feels heavy, their mind restless, and yet letting go isn't simple. Releasing the grudge means more than forgiving the lie. It means confronting their own vulnerability, admitting the depth of their hurt, and risking their heart again in a way that feels intensely personal. The grudge becomes both a shield and a burden. On one hand, it protects them from rushing back into emotional exposure before they are ready. It's a buffer that prevents impulsive reconciliation that could lead to more pain. On the other hand, carrying it day after day slowly erodes their peace. Love and frustration coexist in a delicate, exhausting tension. Every memory of shared laughter and intimacy is tangled with the sting of betrayal. They can't simply switch off the hurt, nor can they fully release it without feeling as though they are exposing their most vulnerable self. This is why they remain cautious. Letting go is not just about forgiving you, it's about rebuilding the emotional balance inside themselves. They are weighing the trust that was broken against the love that still exists, trying to find a point where the heart can open without collapsing. Every interaction, every sign from you, every moment of perceived sincerity is scrutinized carefully. They are not indifferent, they are careful, because the cost of moving too quickly could be far greater than the satisfaction of closure. Ultimately, the grudge is a reflection of how deeply they care. It's proof that the bond mattered so much that they cannot simply erase it. They are exhausted by the hold it has on them, yet they remain patient in their own way, quietly observing, processing, and waiting. Letting go will come, but only when their heart feels safe enough to release the weight without losing itself. Until then, the grudge exists as both a reminder of pain and a testament to enduring love. Love is never simple, and when someone who truly cares for you holds a grudge, it reveals just how complex the human heart can be. Every emotion, the anger, the caution, the silence, the distance, is a reflection of care that runs deeper than most realize. They are not punishing you. They are protecting themselves, measuring sincerity, and navigating the delicate balance between hope and hurt. Their grudge speaks of trust broken and trust still yearned for, of pride and vulnerability intertwined, and of a love that refuses to vanish even when it hurts. From the embarrassment of feeling made a fool, to the careful observation of your actions, to the quiet hope for restoration, every reaction shows that love is both fragile and resilient. They replay memories, weigh intentions, and silently test sincerity because the bond they shared is worth careful consideration. The grudge is not a wall, it's a boundary, a space for them to heal, reflect, and decide whether the connection can survive. It is exhausting, yes, but it is also proof that what they feel for you is real, persistent, and deeply meaningful. Understanding this isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. It's about recognizing that love is active even in silence, vigilant even in distance, and enduring even in hurt. Every emotion, every pause, every cautious step they take is a sign of the weight they place on your connection and the care they continue to hold. Healing this grudge requires more than words. It requires authenticity, consistent effort, and patience. It's about showing that the love that once existed is still honored, respected, and nurtured. If you've gained insight from this deep dive into the heart of someone holding a grudge, make sure to stay connected. Subscribe to the channel to uncover more truths about love and human connection. Like this video if it resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and comment below to join the conversation. Every interaction helps us explore the heart together and strengthens the bonds we care about most. Stay blessed always.